From the very beginning, the shot with the house and the flashing red lights does a really great job of giving a sense of danger and suspense. I love that shot. I thought it was really beautiful, and I think having the narration of the argument on top of it heightened the danger and heightened the feeling of tension. And the family dynamic, I thought all the actors did a really great job of setting up the pecking order and the family dynamic from the get-go, particularly the mother and the son. All three of them really worked together as a great ensemble. And then the addition of the journalist really, she fit right in. What I found really surprising and in a really great way was the VFX work. When the map unfurls and the guns and the plumes of smoke coming out from the landscape, you slowly but surely get a sense of how dystopian this future is. And as somebody who's from Georgia, I thought the landscape shots were really, really beautiful, but also really dystopian and quite sickly and scary, which did a really great job of setting the scene for like the diplomatic talks gone wrong. That plus like the juxtaposition of, how Freeman is often a name that denoted freed slaves, and how that's kind of threaded through the idea of now Georgia's going through a land dispute. I thought that was really smart. And then calling it Freeman Hospitality and then juxtaposing that with the clear border war that's happening, I thought was really smart and created a lot of tension in itself. I thought the conflict was really clear from the get-go. And then when the flashbang happens and the conflict kind of explodes, it really shoots the short into hyperdrive. I thought all the actors did a really great job of like ratcheting up the stakes and keeping the momentum going until the very end.
It kind of reminded me of Red Dawn with this Civil War type event happening, and there's explosions, there's fighting, there's people literally just trying to stay alive. But I could see kind of like, slight reference to that, or like that subject matter. So I think it was really interesting. I think it was paced great. I think you got a lot of cool shots. You had some really cool effects in there of different explosions, which were always fun. And they add to the whole apocalyptic feel of a war. Because there's a very, very distinct difference between like war and like fictionalized, this is the end of the world war. And I think you do a good job of, I hate being like making war fun, but it made it very fun and enticing to watch. Great acting, great pacing. I like this concept. It was very original.
Great job of pacing in this film and slowly ramping up the intensity until you're on the edge of your seat. The beginning scene, I thought, was a great example of establishing character seamlessly. I thought that that scene where the three family members are arguing in the kitchen was a great way to set up all of their characters so we get a sense of who each of them are before we jump into the action. I thought that worked really well, and all of the actors did a great job with their characters. Everyone was really believable. I thought that the music works really well to increase the intensity as well in this film. It was very suspenseful, very intense, especially at the end when it all the chaos breaks loose. So yeah, great acting all around and great character acting, and then awesome action at the end. It was a great payoff to all that suspense.
Doing a civil war sort of situation with military factions, it's not the typical kind of post-apocalyptic film that you see. They're usually zombies or something like that, This was really cool. I liked it a lot. I love the effects, as we're seeing the fire, over the freeway and stuff like that. Those were really cool effects. The action was very tense. The actors all did a great job. Everybody was very convincing, very real. The tension was there. Yeah, it was very cool. You got this impression of these folks that live in this house that have been kind of pushed into this military life, and they're experts now. They're veterans at this. So that we're seeing this future where common people are pushed into extreme situations and adapting. So that was very cool and very effective. I really liked it.
This is very well performed. I think you're getting strong performances out of pretty much the entire cast. And I think that's really helping to sell this world and this conflict. I also thought that you staged the firefight at the end of the piece very, very well. I think that it's hard to choreograph action, and that all felt intense and tight, and just it was all very well handled.
I really love the opening shot with the mailbox. I just thought the lighting was really cool with that. It was a really cool opening. Strong acting by everyone. The people that really stood out to me were the mom and the reporter, especially the reporter. I just thought she was really strong acting. Thought she was very committed to her need and what she needed and wanted and her character, and who Jorge was to her, because I was confused about who Jorge was. And when he was dragged out in the body bag, she really had a real reaction to that. I mean, you could just tell her choices were really strong for her character. And the makeup and costumes I thought were really well done. Just, technically I thought everything was really good. The camera work, the cinematography, the editing, the directing, the makeup and hair, like I said, the costumes, the location, all of it was really well done.
This film is quite mysterious and cryptic. They have a setting in an apparently end-of-world future. Their costume design is outstanding, as well as their sound effects, their special effects, specifically the explosions when they are driving, and you can see the explosions in the horizon, and then the gunshots. They are so realistic. I loved it. It's great quality production, and performances are outstandingly good as well. I just went to watch the follow-up on this story of the gang, and not so the villain, but the villain did a great job too. So